Your $1,000 Wegovy pen only costs $5 to manufacture. Okay, maybe not quite $5, but in reality, to manufacture weight loss drugs like Wegovy and Zepbound, it costs about $25 per month in the manufacturing process. So what gives? Are the drug manufacturers actually ripping us off? One might think so, given the drug manufacturer Novo Nordisk posted a $12 billion profit in 2023. And I still have not been paid by Big Pharma yet for all the work that I do on this channel. So, in case you've been living under a rock for the last few years, drug prices across the globe have been skyrocketing. And this problem is particularly worrisome in the US of A. And I will caveat that the pharmaceutical industry in the US is, well, an entirely different beast, and the millions of dollars that is put into lobbying Congress is absolutely ridiculous. But a 1 month supply of Wegovy in the US costs approximately $1,350 a month. Whereas in other countries like Canada, where I'm from, a 1 month supply of Wegovy costs about $500 per month. Still not great in comparison to the $25 that it costs to manufacture a month's supply, but definitely better than the US. So what's going on? Why do these drugs cost so much? Is it the greedy overlords and shareholders that are part of the drug companies, or is there something else that's to it? First things first, let's kind of get the easy stuff out of the way that can obviously influence the price of products and that sort of thing. Everything from like inflation, new technologies, etc., etc. That's all the basic stuff that certainly can cause costs to go up over a period of time. But the next thing that we need to take into consideration is the process of research and development to get one of these drugs to market. So $25 a month, that's how much it costs to like put the pen together, put the liquid in it, make sure it's all sterile, etc. But that doesn't take into account what could be near $2 billion worth of money invested to get a drug to market, doing all the things like the research, development, completing clinical trials, etc. Therefore, a company still needs to make that investment back in order to fund further research and development and keep their for-profit company going. And drug patents do also play a role in incentivizing drug companies to, well, make as much money as they possibly can in a very short time window. You see, when a drug company develops a molecule, so Novo Nordisk develops semaglutide, they're like, okay, we've got this, it's made in a petri dish, whatever, we want to get the patent on it and how it's made and that sort of thing. And that then protects that drug over the next 20 years so that they can do all this research and development and such like that to get the drug to market and ultimately sell it without any copycats or generics being made in the meantime. And the whole drug development research phase of things takes at least half of the time that the patent is in place. So when the drug actually makes it to market, the drug company has a much smaller window to make back that $2 billion that they've invested over the previous years. Thus, they're going to jack up that price to make sure that they make that money back. And another heartbreaking statistic for you, only 20% of you that are currently watching this video are subscribed to my channel. And so, I want to encourage all the other 80% of you to go down, hit that subscribe button, because I know you like tuning in, watching my videos, and you're going to make me feel really, really good about myself when I see that subscriber number go up. So go down below there, hit the button, turn on the notifications, and you'll never miss out on another video, and you get to make me a happy camper. So it certainly might seem like the drug companies are the problem, but maybe they're not all of the problem. Here we enter the Pharmacy Benefit Managers, or PBMs. And most people likely have never heard of that term before, but have probably interacted with a PBM in some form or fashion. As an example, Cigna Healthcare uses Express Scripts as their PBM. And little fun fact for you, Cigna Healthcare also owns Express Scripts. Yeah. What the PBMs do is they decide which drugs are going to be covered, they process prescription claims via pharmacies, they negotiate with the drug companies to get the cheapest price possible, or so they tell us. They also decide what a patient's copay is going to be, and they are the ones that make you and me as a clinician fill out a whole bunch of paperwork in order to get some medications covered. Now, the PBMs have done a very good job over the recent years because they've been coming under more and more scrutiny about high drug prices. So they tell everyone, the song and dance, that they're lowering and finding the best prices, they're negotiating with drug companies and that sort of thing. Meanwhile, they're turning and pointing the finger at the drug companies and saying they are the problem for these high-cost drugs. You see, the PBMs manage the whole drug insurance coverage process for health insurers. Yet the top 3 PBMs, Express Scripts, Optum Rx, and Caremark, are among the top 40 US companies by revenue. You see, in order for a drug company to sell a drug via a pharmacy, they need to work with a PBM. And during this whole facilitation process, a PBM will demand that a drug company pays a rebate in order to put their drug on their formulary and get it covered by the pharmacy benefit manager and a specific health insurer. And if a drug company doesn't pay that rebate, the PBM can turn around and say, nope, your drug will not be on our formulary. We will not cover it. It's not going to be there. Thank you. Come again. Now, you would think that a rebate would actually go back to either the patients or maybe the employer that is funding this plan. You would think that would be the process, but not quite the case. Instead, this usually sizable rebate actually goes back to the PBM. And unfortunately, we have very limited information about these specific rebates. And that's because they are considered a trade secret and don't have to be disclosed by the PBMs. However, it is estimated that a rebate makes up about approximately 70% of a drug's cost. So, back to our Wegovy example, for a 1-month supply of Wegovy, it costs about $1,350. And if a PBM like Express Scripts demands a rebate, which 70% of that would be $945, that then leaves $405 that would go back to Novo Nordisk, the makers of Wegovy. And suddenly, that $405, well, that looks a lot more like the prices that we see in other countries like Canada and in Europe. Really quite interesting, isn't it? Now, you're probably wondering, why is it so bad in the US but not in other countries? As I said at the start, the US pharmaceutical industry is a completely different beast. But one of the big first problems is that the top 3 PBMs, Express Scripts, Caremark, and Optum Rx, have about 80% market share, so they have a lot of control and a lot of power. They basically can do whatever the hell they want. And in fact, they've been coming under a lot of heat lately for anti-competitive business practices. Who would have thunk, huh? The second issue with the US is that there's no price regulation boards or system in place. There's basically no caps. In Canada, we have like a whole committee and board that tells and regulates prices and such like that, and so drug prices can only be to a certain level, and there's a cap, and then it stops and can't go any higher. The US just doesn't have that in place. But the issue with these PBMs is starting to move beyond the US. PBMs are beginning to dig their claws into other countries. They're hitting pharmacies, they're setting up preferred pharmacy networks and forcing patients to go and fill specific drugs at these networks and ultimately causing disjointed care and patient harm. And I have no doubt that the PBMs are also starting to put a lot of money into lobbying various governments across the globe to really start pushing those caps out of the way so that drug prices can start going up even higher. In the US, the amount of money that PBMs have put into lobbying Congress has doubled in the past year. And hey, if you want some additional support in managing your weight, you can go to the link down below and you can book a free consultation with myself. We can kind of review your questions, I'll answer them, etc., etc., and we can also see if you're a good fit for our weight management program. So, if you want to find out if I can help you to manage your weight today and forever, then you should definitely go down below and click that link. Now, this isn't all to say that the drug companies aren't playing a role in this. These drug companies still do have some power over these PBMs, and they could try and force and make some changes happen. But would those changes be in the best interest of their shareholders? Probably not. And I mean, at the end of the day, none of these companies really have the interest of patients at heart. So, there you have it, my friends. That is why Wegovy and these other weight management medications cost so much damn money. Now, to start managing this problem and to actually make a difference, it's not going to happen by us commenting and fighting in the YouTube comments of this video. It is going to be the people that are going to write and get in the face of Congress, of their lawmakers in their country, of their government bodies and such like that, and demanding that government start making some changes to limit what these companies can do in terms of these drug prices. They have been elected to serve you, the people. So make sure that they are doing their fucking jobs. And that is it, and that is all, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, if you did, don't forget to share it with anybody who you think might be interested in it. As well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Again, it makes me feel really super good about myself, and hey, you're going to get to keep watching some really awesome content. As well, don't forget to sign up for the OG Members membership side of my YouTube channel. Each month I do a YouTube live. We talk about topics that don't show up in the regular feed, and I do a live Q&A answering all of your questions and concerns in real time. And of course, check out all my other links down below and all of the social media channels that I am currently on and hanging out on. Be sure to go down, check them out, click on them, give me a follow, give me a subscribe. Again, all of the support is greatly appreciated. So until next time, my friends, always remember, it's going to be those small tweaks that lead to the massive peaks.